Guys, if I lost everything today, right now, and I only had 5 years to become a millionaire, I would not follow most financial advice. I would do this instead, and I would do this immediately. Now, the first thing I would do is I would attack income first, not budgeting, none of that other stuff. I would try to increase my income intentionally. Why? Because the absolute fastest way to become rich or become wealthy is to make more money. How would I do that? Here's what I would do. I would hone in on the things that I do well. What are my skills? What are my gifts? What are my talents, my natural talents, right? And whatever those things are, I would do them and become the best at them, and I would learn how to monetize them, whatever it could be. Now, listen, I know it sounds easy. I'm not trying to make this thing sound easy, because nothing I'm going to tell you on this video is easy. It's all going to be hard. You're going to have to sweat a little bit, be nervous, be scared, and cry, whatever it takes. But listen, the first thing I would do, increase my income. That's huge. And that's going to take me working 60 hours a week or more. But it is what it is. Remember, we said we're trying to become a millionaire in 5 years. You don't become a millionaire in 5 years by just cutting out Netflix, right? You become a millionaire in 5 years by first honing in on increasing your earnings and your earning potential. What are you bringing in? Find out what you do well, what that gift is, what that talent is, and get better at it so you can monetize it as soon as possible. That's the first thing I would do. Now, the second thing I'd do to become a millionaire in 5 years is I'd control my biggest expense immediately. What is most people's biggest expense? It's their housing, where they live. It's where people spend typically the most money on. Now, how would I control that expense? The first thing I'd consider doing to reduce my living expense, housing expense, is I'd live with other people. If I could. I know it's hard. I said everything's going to be hard. Who can I move in with and split the cost of rent or split the cost of a mortgage? So I don't have to pay $2,000 a month. I can pay $1,000 a month, right? Who could I share a flat with, a duplex with, a home with? Listen, or here's another one. Do I have space in my own house, in my own basement? Do I have an extra room that I could rent out to somebody else that would help pay off my mortgage, right? So, like I said, this ain't gonna be easy, but housing is where most of us spend a ton of money. Think about it like this. If you spend $2,000 a month on housing right now, that's $24,000 a year. Over the course of 10 years, that's $240,000. Over the course of 5 years, that's $120,000. So that's a ton of money that you're spending on housing. If your housing is wrong and you're spending too much on it, your entire wealth building system or process is automatically going to move slower. So how do you speed that thing up? You do something about housing so you don't have to pay so much every single month for a roof over your head. And some of you are watching me and you're saying there's no way in the world I could do that. I get it. But if you want to be a millionaire in 5 years, you got to sacrifice something. Now, the third thing I would do is I would increase my investing rate aggressively. Okay. No more cut out all this 3% and 4% and 5% of the match at my job. No, you got to go way beyond that, right? You got to put a whole lot more money into something going up in value, mainly the stock market, right? You got to get up to investing 30% or more of your money going into whatever you're putting your money into that's going up in value. 9 times out of 10, that's going to be the stock market. But here's the deal. If you increase your investing rate to 30% of your money, that would go a long way towards helping you build some wealth and possibly become a millionaire in 5 years. Think about it like this. If you make $75,000 a year in salary, that's $375,000 in 5 years that you've brought home. And if you just simply saved or invested 30% of that, guys, that right there is over $100,000, right? Again, that would go a long way towards making you a millionaire in the next 5 years if you just made those sacrifices to invest 30% or more of your money. Because at some point, your money's going to have to start working harder for you than you work for it. Now, number 4, this one is a big one, okay? The next thing I'd do is I'd upgrade my circle immediately. Let me explain that. I hate to say it like this, but I gotta say it anyway, okay? Many of us have a friend group around us that hold us back. If you agree with that, let me know in the comments below, right? I've seen it happen. I know a lot of you have seen it happen, right? Same friends since high school. And you're 35 or 40 years old, and they still want to do the same stuff they was doing in high school or when they were 20 years old or 25 years old, right? You can't really outgrow your circle. So the key is, oftentimes, if you want to grow, you got to go get a bigger circle, and then you can grow. So I'd upgrade the circle of people that I'm around, right? If everybody around you is comfortable where they are in life, you'll probably be comfortable where you are in life. But real growth is going to take you being uncomfortable in uncomfortable situations around people who you got to get to know, and you may not be as comfortable around your cousins and all the people and all the friends from high school. You got to go out and get new people. That's what I would do. Now, the fifth thing I'd do if I wanted to be a millionaire in 5 years is I'd keep my investing simple. I would resist the urge to get fancy with my investments, right? I would resist the urge, because there's going to be an urge while you're on this little journey. I would resist the urge to swing for the fences or the get rich quick schemes that are going to come up along the way, right? I would use a simple diversification strategy with whatever I'm investing in. I would also use a simple allocation strategy. In other words, I'd be a little more aggressive, of course, right? Because I want my money to grow. So I wouldn't have things like bonds and CDs and things like that. But what I do have would be invested in a simple mix of stocks and ETFs and index funds, and also some real estate. I would add that to my portfolio too, right? I would definitely add some real estate, but I'd add it in a smart way. I wouldn't be out here over leveraging and things like that. Been there, done that. Not the best thing to do. Simple works. Complication is not necessary. You don't have to get complicated to build wealth. Not even to build wealth sort of fast. Now, guys, let me say this before I get to number 6. Everything I'm talking about in this video only works if your money is actually organized. Most people don't have a system, and that's exactly why we created the 4-step financial reset. This is where we help you take everything that you're hearing on this video and the things I talk about in other videos, and we put it all into a real structure that you can follow. If you're tired of just guessing with your money every single month, click the first link in the description box below while enrollment is open and join us for our next 4-step financial reset. Now, let's go to number 6. The 6th thing that I would do if I wanted to be a millionaire in 5 years is I'd make sure that I'm taking control of every single dollar. I would track every dollar, right? Like a budget, right? I'd be doing a budget on a regular basis so I know what comes in and I know what goes out. If you don't tell your money where to go, you're going to always wonder where it went. And trust me, when you get on a journey and you're working 50, 60, 70 hours a week and you're trying to build and build and build, you want to be tracking it. You want to be taking inventory in your own 4 walls. So I'd be fanatical about managing my money and focusing on exactly where and how I'm spending money so I can make some better money decisions. Now, the 7th thing I'd do is I'd build a financial floor or safety net first. In other words, I'd make sure that I don't have to keep starting over every time something comes up, right? So I'd make sure I'd have some cash, just in case money that I can get to quickly in case and when things go wrong. One of the biggest problems people have that hurts them the most and hurts their money is emergencies, things that pop up that you wasn't expecting, right? Things come up, we get it. Car breaks down, transmission goes out, brakes go out, whatever, refrigerator goes out, you got medical bills, whatever it could be, right? Things come up, you name it. Sometimes things come out of nowhere and it's like, man, I thought I was preparing for everything. And now I get hit with this on this month and this on that month. $500 here, $1,000 there. It happens. Some of you watching this video, you got hit with something in the last couple of days. So that's why I'm saying you want to build an emergency starter fund just in case something goes wrong, because it will. And make sure that whatever you build can cover the small things. Put aside $3,000, $4,000 so that on this journey, I know I got it, right? You can't build wealth while you're constantly, every time you turn around, putting out fires with money that you have not set aside for the fires. Look, I've been there and I've done that. It's hard. It's difficult feeling like every time you get 2 steps ahead, you got to take 1 or 2 steps back. Now, let's go to number 8. The 8th thing I do if I want to become a millionaire in 5 years is I'd eliminate anything that's working against me. Let me be clear about this one. I'd get rid of everything that's paddling the boat downhill while I'm trying to go uphill. And I'm not talking about a spouse, okay? Let's be real. I'm not talking about a spouse or a significant other. I'm talking about getting rid of some bad debt, right? Where I'm paying a bunch of interest on some debt, on something going down in value, right? Think about this. Interest is the money that they're charging you just to borrow the money in the first place. Like, who wants to be paying a bunch of interest payments? That's like working backwards, right? So bad debt isn't neutral, okay? Bad debt compounds backwards in the wrong direction, right? It's working against you every single day. It's hard to build wealth while you're paying for your past, right? The stuff that you bought 3 and 4 years ago, you're still paying on it today through a credit card or through some type of car payments, right? Student loans. You got to get rid of that stuff as soon as possible so that you can get up to 30% of your money being invested. Now, number 9 is I'd make sure to automate as much as possible. Why do I say automate? Because when you automate stuff, it removes friction, right? It removes procrastination. It removes you being forgetful and just not getting it done. See, if I'm putting in 30% of my money into Fidelity every single month, I want to make sure that money's going automatically to Fidelity. So I don't have to stop what I'm doing and think about it and then change what I'm going to put in there and then maybe get to it, maybe not get to it on Friday, forget it for forget all that. That money should come directly out of your account so that you don't have to try and remember everything. So automate everything, because sometimes you don't have the time and you don't have the discipline, let's be real, to remember to drop that $2,000 a month into your Fidelity account. So the less that you have to think about it, the more likely stuff is going to actually get done. Now, the 10th thing that I would do is I would follow a proven system, not just some old random whatever, or I'll do it when I think about it. I would write stuff down, take notes, put systems in place, make sure things are set up in an organized way, because money follows organization. Money runs from chaos, right? So I would be writing out my vision. I would be writing out my mission statement. I would be writing out my purpose. I'd be writing out my goals and my action steps that are going to help me achieve those goals, things I do every single day. I would not be relying on my memory. I would be putting stuff on paper, spreadsheets, Google Sheets, whatever you do, in the notes section on your computer, and then I would have it as a screensaver on my laptop. I'd have it in the bathroom, on the mirror, or on the refrigerator. I'd put it on the screensaver on my cell phone, right? So that I'm constantly reminded of my vision, my mission, and my goals, and my action steps, right? See, most people don't fail because they don't know what to do. People know what to do. People just fail because they haven't developed the habits that are going to support the systems that they haven't put in place, right? People don't have automatic reminders of their goals in front of them. Most people don't. People don't have automatic reminders of their mission and their vision in front of them on a daily basis to give them that nudge every 3 or 4 hours. People don't typically have that. So that's what I would do. Listen, that's the 10 things that I personally would do immediately if I had only 5 years to become a millionaire. Guys, if you really listen to what I just said in this video, you probably realize something. None of this works without a system. You can't increase your income, control your housing, invest 30% of your money towards the stock market, stay consistent, automate everything if your money is still unorganized. And that's the part that most people are missing, right? So if you're serious about getting your money in order and you don't want to keep guessing every single month what's going on with my money, again, enrollment is open right now for the 4-step financial reset. This is where I walk you through step by step through building your own complete financial system that's yours. right? So you're not just motivated by watching a YouTube video, you actually have some structure. Click on the first link in the description box below and join us. If this helped you out, smash that like button for me and share this video with somebody who you think needs to hear it. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.